then to segue into our discussion for the markets. And joining in right here in our studios today is Chakri Lokpriya of TCG-AMC. Chakri, hi, good evening.
Hi.
This rapid run from 8,000 to 8,500 in what, just 12 sessions? What are you making of it?
I think still we are a very undervalued market because still we are off from the highs of last year when the market was over 9,000. So from that perspective, it's not an expensive market by any stretch. I think a few things have fallen into place. One, monsoon finally good. Second, all the good work done by the RBI in cleaning up the NPA mess is suddenly led to a realization that bank valuations, PSU bank valuations, are extremely cheap. Second, now the new RBI governor who may come in, there is an expectation that he'll be more pro-growth, and then of course every quarter we go through this cycle of emotion of whether GST will happen or not. I think all these various factors are taking the market high.
Well, Chakri, let's take these factors one by one. The one big one, of course, is the earnings, and IndusInd has actually set the ball rolling with a decent set of numbers. Commentary was even better. How do you expect this quarter to go as far as earnings are concerned, particularly because this time round things will be monitored on a QOQ basis more, because last quarter was a good one rather than a YOY basis?
I think this quarter we will see a revenue growth of probably 2 or 3%, maybe earnings growth of 3 or 4%. And mind you, most of this earnings and revenue growth is not going to be demand-led, but rather still because of lower input costs. In spite of the fact that commodity prices have risen, still they're way off their highs. And so that gives a good leeway for the margins for these companies. Second, with the monsoons turning out to be a good thing, we will see some pickup from both consumer staples as well as consumer discretionary. And so these various sectors will benefit in many ways. Consumer staples, consumer discretionary will be more demand-led, whereas in the case of autos or metals, they're just rebounding off lows, not yet volume, so that gives you enough space for a future growth that will be demand-led.
So as we head into this earnings season, do you suspect that we're going to see a little bit of consolidation? Let's say, someone's feeling a little the missed out feeling. Will they find an opportunity to maybe, look at making an entry? If we do see a correction, how deep could it be?
I think the markets are not too expensive, so, but of course we've seen a number of these so-called black swan events over the last one year.
Yeah.
And as long as you don't panic too much, or at least then you're okay. So in terms of, there is clearly a missed out feeling amongst many participants who have misread. And now we are in a place where you will see all these various confluence of factors happening. And from that perspective, still earnings is not a FY17 phenomena. Yes, it's going to be better than last year. We're probably going to have a FY17 a higher number, but FY18 is going to be a real big thing.
Well, Chakri, let's talk about the market complexion. We are looking at the mid-cap indices, the Nifty Junior, all of those indices are already making fresh record highs, whereas the benchmarks are still lagging. And the list of 52-week highs in the broader markets are much higher, which is making many to believe that things are getting heated up. How are you comparing the mid-cap end of the market to large-cap, and which are the themes which you like there?
I think between the mid-cap and the large-cap, the primary difference, the way we look at it, is if you take Nifty as an example, are largely commodity-led or commodity-dependent, and then you have a few individual companies which have company-specific issues. ICICI has its own share of problems. Infosys is a big IT company. On the other hand, you have mid-cap companies who are largely depend on low commodity prices or users of commodities on one hand, or services companies. And so these companies usually start benefiting as the economy recovers. And we're still in the nascent stages of growth. So there's still a lot more growth ahead for the mid-cap index. Even though it's hit a lifetime high, earnings-wise, cumulatively over the last 7-8 years, earnings growth has only been about 6-7% CAGR.
Okay, last question really, and that's about how you're sort of viewing all the global events. You know, there seems to be some sort of normalcy, if temporary perhaps, because of news that, you know, we know Theresa May is going to be the new Prime Minister in the UK. There's this whole business of how the jobs data is looked a lot better. So, you know, things on the US economic front aren't too bad. And then there's the BOJ that looks like is, you know, sort of preparing to flush the system with a fair amount of liquidity. How do you see all of this sort of panning out? And, you know, do you believe that there's still a lot of uncertain moving parts out there?
Well, if you look at the US, we've long maintained that the US economy is doing fine.
Okay.
And the recent economic data, job data shows that. And from an Indian perspective, US still is the most important market. And post-Brexit, it's become fairly clear that with low interest rate environment, at least a Fed hike, because there is no inflation, is clearly a 2017 phenomenon. And second, in a world where yields have fallen so much, I think there is a growing realization that growth is available in equities amongst other asset classes. And so equities worldwide, whether developed markets, and of course EU has its own will have its fair share of problems because of Brexit at a later point. But right now, pockets like the US and commodity-dependent countries like India, I think, are beginning to get into a sweet spot.
Okay, so keep calm and keep investing. Huh? That's pretty much the message. Chakri, thanks so much for taking time out for us. Let's cross over then to our colleague Gauri.